Hello, my name's Claire from Conscious Chemo, and in this video I'm going to talk about sugar. So it is well documented in alternative therapy books that sugar feeds cancer. So it depends on, what type of cancer you have as to how far you go with omitting sugar from your diet. But for me personally, I've cut out all added sugar right from before I even knew I definitely had it. I cut out added sugar. All through my high dose, well actually pretty much through the whole thing. I haven't really been using substitutes for sugar either, such as honey. I haven't had any honey since last August. The only thing I have had is a tiny bit of maple syrup and a tiny bit of date sugar. So you can sweeten things up with bananas, dates. They're really good ways of sweetening up, or figs. And they've all got really positive health benefits. If you are on a stage 4 and trying to prolong life, then I have read, there's a great book called How to Starve Your Cancer. I think that lady there, she's avoiding any fruit with high sugar in. But for me, I'm actually just having any fruit. I've consulted with my friend who's got a master's in nutrition and a naturopath. And it feels right for me according to where I am. Also, when you're considering sugar, look at how high it is on the glycemic index. So you can think you've got a sugar that's a fruit that's high in sugar, but actually the way it's metabolized in the body, it's more on a medium or a lower glycemic index. And then therefore it doesn't create the spikes as much as foods that are on the high glycemic index. So that is why, for example, sweet potatoes would be preferable over white potatoes. Berries would be preferable over something like a banana, but still, it's still on an average. So it's not as high as you might think, given the sugar content. It's an intrinsic sugar, so it is metabolized differently within the body and it responds differently within your cells. So I have been using fruit as my sweet treat, as well as dark chocolate, 85% cacao, which is low in sugar again. So do read the packets if you're having dark chocolate, because some of them have still got a high sugar content, but I'm having Lindt 85%, which has got a much lower sugar content. Cacao powder, health benefits, as has cacao got health benefits. You can use that in puddings. I buy kefir, collaborative kefir, which you might find a little bit bitter when you first start if you're used to sweet things, but your body does adapt and get used to it. So I'll have some kefir with raspberries, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, maybe on a low sugar granola as a treat, with some banana, which can be very sweet. That could even be a pudding. There's an oat pudding that I make. I mush up a banana in a little ceramic dish, and I add just a couple of tablespoons of oats, a heaped teaspoon of cacao powder, a tiny bit of baking powder. Sometimes I put a lump of dark chocolate in there, a few walnuts, crushed walnuts, and add a little bit of nut milk. Pop it in the oven for 15 minutes and it comes out really gooey, really beautiful, really nice and chocolatey. And you can have that on its own, or you could put some raspberries on the top, have it with a spoonful of kefir. Really nice sweet treat. And the other thing I do a lot is a tray bake. It's peanut butter based. I'll share the recipe on this site, but again, I substitute the honey for a tiny bit of maple syrup and date sugar, and I still really like it. I've also got a recipe for a date loaf, which is really good, and it hasn't got any sugar in it at all, which I'll share on here. And bliss balls. You can make bliss balls without any sugar alternatives. So a lot of bliss ball recipes have honey in, and a lot of them have honey, maple syrup, and I don't make mine with honey or maple syrup or stevia or any of the sugar alternatives. I use more nuts, seeds, etc. So I will be sharing those on this website too. So there are ways of limiting your sugar intake more than you might think, and every little bit will add up. I'll probably have more sugar whilst I've been away, but just because of that's where I'm at, and that's fine. I don't worry about it. But when I'm back at home, that routine will be there, and I enjoy everything I'm eating, so I don't feel like I'm missing out at all. It's actually become really easy. So I would just give yourself you might call an adaptation process. If you are, having a lot of sugar leading up to your diagnosis, then be kind to yourself and slowly reduce it from your diet. But if you're already on the path, like I was, then it might be something you can cut out overnight. But I do believe, and I feel like I've experienced, that it does make a huge difference. I think it makes a difference to the way you feel, but also to the cancer itself as well. So I hope this has been useful. Good luck. Take from it whatever you choose to take from it. It's your journey, it's your body. But I can only share my experience and what I feel has really helped me. So thank you so much for listening. Wishing you all the best and sending you lots of love on your healing journeys. Claire from Conscious Chemo.